Greetings traveler, Challenger here. Today I am playing Diablo 2 Resurrected as an assassin, testing how good is an endgame set Natalya's Odium, which is assassin specific. I will also play as a martial artist since this is my least played class alongside sorceress. It's not surprising that I have never played her in such manner. So without further ado, let the challenge begin. Rules: playing as an assassin martial artist, using Natalya's Odium set as soon as possible, using charms and sockets. Run ends with killing Bale on hell. This is hardcore run, 1 life, no deaths. Natalya's Odium is one of the class specific endgame sets. It consists of 4 items: weapon, body armor, helmet and boots, of which weapon is a claw, making it only usable by an assassin. Level requirements for the items ranges from 25 to 79, making boots the first available piece that can be used in a playthrough. I am really curious how good this set is, as on paper it looks very powerful. But let's discuss each piece and set bonuses once I will be able to wear them, as a sort of tradition around here. To be absolutely honest, I know very little about this playstyle and build in general. One thing, of course, is that Mosaic rune word is broken, but that won't be used here in this video, so you can stop typing the comment how it broke the game. Martial Artist, as name suggests, uses martial arts tree to deal with enemies, and first skill that I will take is Tiger Strike. It allows to store up to 3 charges of it and then use either dragon finishing move or normal attack to unleash it, dealing massive amount of damage with increased attack rating. Second skill that I will take is Dragon Talon. It is a first finishing move skill that I will be able to take. It kicks the target and unleashes stored charges, and it provides additional attack rating and kick damage. And as you can see, kick damage is actually scaled not from weapon, but boots you are wearing. Very similar to smite damage from shields for Paladin. Damn, that is a grand charm if I ever see one. Getting something like this, and that early on into the run, massive. I can really see why Zarfen chose this particular class to do a one-shot challenge with. I mean, Tiger Strike has so much damage potential, and later on with something like Dragon Tail, it just becomes a menace. That said, I am getting another skill, Claw Mastery. It provides passive bonuses for attack rating, damage and chance for critical strike while using Claw class weapon. Next skill available at level 6 is Fists of Fire, and this is another charge up like Tiger Strike, but this one is a bit more interesting since it does different things at different charge levels, while Tiger Strike was only changing the damage. This adds fire damage, then it can explode, and at 3 charges it also leaves fire to deal damage for some time. Of course, I cannot forget about Burst of Speed. This is a staple. Faster attacks, faster run walk. What more do you want? Let's get some runes now, as I would very much like to do a stealth armor next act. So I need Tal and F. Okay, I just need 1 Tal. What the hell is this drop? But fortunately next run brought me an F rune, so I'm good to go. Next ability on the list is Dragon Claw. Another finishing move, but to use it I need to have 2 claws in both hands, and it unleashes charges 3 and 2 in that order of the charge up skills, so you cannot really control the fact to always discharge level 3 only. I will also get Weapon Block, which allows me to block with 2 claws in hands. I am not sure if this is the route I want to pursue, but for now it is fine. So I put majority of my points into Fists of Fire, and as we already know, Andariel is extremely susceptible to it, so the whole fight looked like this. Underwhelming is an understatement. Now to switch mercenaries, as I have no use of the archer. I could get Kasim with Prayer Aura for passive healing, but I think Mizan with Blessed Aim for more reliable attack would be better. With that, we went into the sewers to pay a visit to Radament to unload whatever I had in his face. Quickly got myself Horadric Cube, only to delve into disgusting tunnels of Maggot Lair to get the Staff of Kings. But on my way to level 3, a sad ring happened to drop, which turned out to be an Angelic Halo. That is brilliant. And I of course got the staff after completely destroying Cold Worm. After grabbing the Viper amulet from the very angry salamanders, I got to town and almost missed out on the ability to create stealth armor. Since I am only using burst of speed on cooldown, I didn't felt that I missed something and was about to go to finish the act without it. Bonk. Now I saved 2 points for level 18 as there are 2 abilities I want to get. First is Dragon Tail, which is an explosive kick that is dealing fire damage in radius, releasing charged up bonuses. So kind of like charge 2 of Fist of Fire. Second skill is Claws of Thunder. That is a lightning based charge up skill that is doing single target damage first, then there is a Nova and at charge 3 it is releasing charge up bolts, which as you can see pairs very nicely with Dragon Tail. Duriel fight wasn't as decisive as Andariel one, but you can still see that damage is insane, and really the only problem so far is that I have to be in melee range to deliver my Wrath. But other than that, this really feels great to play. My god, this playstyle is so fun. I'm just running around kicking everything in their faces, exploding whatever there is to explode, and getting things I needed just like that. I know that Traps Assassin is probably easier and safer to play, but it is not as satisfying as this one. Minutes after getting Eye of Khalim, I happened to stumble up an alcove with the super chest, but got this rare amulet drop prior to it, and man, it is amazing. +1 to martial arts, faster cast rate, 3 to minimum damage, replenish life and double resistances. I know this is normal, but man, third set item already. Full helm, which is Eisenhart's horns. Not the best, but considering what I have, it's still much better. My damage currently is mostly fire. I don't see a point of going for something different so far, but that will change in the future. So of course dealing with something that is resistant or immune to fire can be a bit tricky. While absolutely trashing the council members one after the other, I did not register when my merc died. Only after the battle ended, I saw that he wasn't by my side. Mephisto was a bit dangerous, but mostly because I refused to clear the bloodlords that were surrounding him. But he does not have that persistence though like Duriel, so he died much faster. He dropped Set Chainmail, Catan Smash. What the hell happened here? I have never seen the textures break in such manner in this game. I know that this is only mesh and rather background, but it's very odd. Fallen Angel Usual is so far the biggest threat. No, that is not the right word. He is the most resilient, although still very much easy. Same situation with Hephaestus, but this bastard was more annoying due to the Holy Freeze aura, and I only got a Ral rune from the Forge, but also a perfect ruby. Before Chaos Sanctuary I grabbed another skill that is available at level 18. Fate provides physical damage reduction, boost to all resistances and reduces curses time. It cannot be used together with boost of speed, but it is most likely the best defensive tool in the game. This place isn't the best for fire damage dealing character, but since Fist of Fire is the first area of effect clearing tool in this tree, I opted to just go with it until I can switch it at level 30 or maybe just continue putting points into Phoenix Strike and keeping the synergy. So I anticipated that Diablo will be quite bad, but honestly he was quite an okay fight. With Fade Online I wasn't taking that much damage even if he slowed me down, and I had to endure the lightning breath. And because he was mostly standing in place, the flaming component of my skill made him take ridiculous amounts of damage every time I had a chance to discharge it. He dropped a couple of items. First, a unique Field Plate Rock Fleece, a very underrated armor. A set buckler Hasarus Iron Fist, and quite good rare rings sporting some very useful stats. Because I will be using Set eventually, the ability to socket some of the pieces like helmet and weapon will be invaluable. Body armor has a natural socketed affix up to 3 sockets, making it a very versatile piece, so the third usage of this can be reserved for offhand eventually. With level 25 I am able to wear the first part of the set. that are mesh boots Natalya's soul. They are sporting massive 40% faster run walk, some defense, heal stamina based on character level, and double resistances for cold and lightning. For some reason they are not showing the kick damage, but since they are exceptional base, they are already better than what I have, and should sport 23 to 52 kick damage. And that can yet be upgraded once I get right runes. I really love these boots. They are really low level piece of gear, yet they provide so much utility. Of course, they would be even better if they had fire resistance instead of cold, but it is really hard to complain on this level. Anyway, Barbarians rescued. Seriously, Anya, with all those flames around, you should be able to get out. You are making this harder than it should be. From what I gathered, this build relies on quick weapon and skill levels to deliver massive damage, as every finishing move is a kick, except Dragon Claw that requires 2 claws to be used, making me much more vulnerable, and I much rather use Claw and Shield at this time. So in this situation the Spirit Sword would probably be best, but the charge up skills on the left, so every elemental one, that are single element requires claws to be used. But maybe for Phoenix Strike I could do that. It's funny to kick the Royal Guard of Bale around. And speaking of the main guy, this would be much like Diablo if he would just stay in place and take it, but no. Mr. Smart Guy Sorceress wannabe must teleport around instead of just dying like a man. In the end I still got him, and he dropped 2 uniques, Volge, which is Steel Goad, and Edgebow, which is Sky Strike. Finishing normal with level 29 with most of the attributes put into Vitality. Typical. I maxed out Fists of Fire and just put 1 point into some abilities, to have access to the rest, or I just don't need more. Gear-wise, my merc has nothing special. Me, however, I have couple of set items, with the best being Natalya's boots. Also got that stealth armor, other than that, not much. Every difficulty I start with mandatory sweep of Den of Evil to get that sweet skill point, and shortly after I get to level 30, and with it, Phoenix Strike. Man, this skill has more text than a Bible. This is a final charge up skill in the tree, and it works a bit different than all of the rest I have been using so far. It releases different elemental attacks based on what charge level I have. So on level 1 it does Meteor, level 2 Chain Lightning, and level 3 Chaos Ice Bolts, and it only does the one you currently have charge of, making it a very versatile clearing tool, and it has synergies with all the elemental attacks from the tree. So because it can have 3 different effects and different elemental attacks on all the charges, it makes sense release all of them instead trying to keep up 3 charges and then discharge it to have the most powerful effect like before. Wait, what? You can stack different charges and doing those sick combos? Holy shit, that is broken. There wasn't much happening in this act. I did all the quests and just went to Andariel. In the first room of the catacombs, level 4, I actually found a broadsword with 4 open sockets. I feel a bit weak at this point. Fists of Fire were working great in normal, but currently it is just not that simple. Although I purposefully did not change my build yet, as Andariel is weak to fire, so I could trash her pretty easily. At this point I did reset my build. I switched the finisher to Dragon Talon to make use of multiple kicks and put points into Claws of Thunder and Phoenix Strike. Now I can just release everything I have stored in one finishing move, but man, is it hard to see what is happening on the screen with all of this. As you can see, Radaman was kind enough to drop a unique cutlass called Steel Eye, and it is pretty good. Increased attack speed, great damage, some mana stolen, deadly strike, blinding targets and slowing them. Maggot Lair this time around isn't as pleasant as in normal, although I cannot say it is as bad as, let's say, Hammered In. I can do a lot of damage while there are open spaces, and because of fast attacks I can somewhat reliably push through the tunnels. Quickly got an amulet from the Vipers and went to Arcane Sanctuary, where I found this really nice large charm with 22 life and 11 lightning resistance. And looking at all my charms, I have to say I have been really lucky, as they are giving me almost 110 health at this point. Usually my drops for them are rather bad. Duriel was uneventful. I don't think it will be much of a surprise stating that currently Phoenix Strike is not really working great against bosses. I think for the future I will need to put some points into Tiger Strike just to deal with substantial single target damage. Got my J figurine, the Spider's Cave, and then stole Eye of Khalim from Sazark himself. I could stand here and they would be oblivious to my presence. On my way to Flayer's jungle I encountered an elite pack of those 3 things and elite dropped a set wing helmet. It is Guillaume's face. One of the best helmet for melee characters, with faster hit recovery, massive chance for crashing blow, some deadly strike, great defense and strength. I hope my merc will be very happy to see this. That drop was honestly the most exciting thing until the council, as nothing of value was really happening prior to it. So I got them outside, kicked around a bunch, did a roundhouse here, did a roundhouse there, and one of them dropped a unique heavy gloves, Blood Fist. Great drop with that 40 life and 10% increased attack speed. Thanks to the crushing blow from the helmet, my mercenary is able to chunk at least half of Mephisto's health, while I am taking all the damage. With the Fate enabled, this isn't really that punishing or painful, and the fight is over rather soon. Since helmet is the next part of the set and it is available at level 59, given that my current one is 45 and I am already in Act 4, I suspect I will have some grinding to do once Nightmare is over. So let us continue on the journey to earn the right to wear the full set. Playstyle at this point is a bit clunky. You need to get 3 charges to have the best effect, and hitting the targets isn't always the easiest. That's why I am still keeping the merc with Blessed Aim to help me with that. But I would lie if I didn't say how good it is at crowd control. The first Phoenix Strike freezing everything in its place is just glorious. So after finishing Hephasto, I really wished for Pull Rune to help me upgrade my boots down the line. But I got Fall, which is still nice, and it might be very useful later on. I had this clever plan to replace my shield with Pattern Rune Ward, as it gives me some resistances, an attack rating while still giving me an ability to hit the charges faster than with a single weapon. But apparently you cannot wear claws in offhand if you don't have one in main hand. That is disappointing. What is the best about this so far is that the fact that there is no problem with dealing in any immunities. Since much like Vengeance Paladin, I am dealing 3 types of damage almost all at once. There is no opposition, no resistance, just carnage. And Diablo? Well, he was a boss fight. Yeah. At least he dropped one of the greatest armors in the game. Unique Cuirass, Duriel's Shell. Amazing defense, bonus to strength, massive resistances, life, and even cannot be frozen. Darkfaren dropped this rare Q-Hub that has great attack speed, some attack rating, mana stolen per hit, so now I can exchange my sword and shield for double claws together with pattern I made in the last act. As I mentioned in the beginning, I never played this build. I am not playing Assassin much at all, but if I am this powerful this early on, I barely have any issues with anything that stands in my way. No wonder why almost everybody is mad about Mosaic, especially that if you stack every single charge up spell and just wipe the screen clear. Death Maul the Dark. That had to be one of the stupidest elite names I saw in this game. Sound off in the comments what was the strangest / stupidest monster name you encountered in Diablo 2. Now Ancients gave me much harder time than I initially anticipated. They are naturally resistant to the elemental damage, with some of them almost immune to certain of them even at this point. So I had at least 3 or 4 tries where I ran out of potions and had to restart, as I wanted to rush them through only to bounce off and rethink my strategy, resorting to tried and true methods. Usually I'm skipping Lister Wave in those challenges, They are just not worth the effort, but just look at this, complete and utter destruction. As expected, Bale wasn't much of an issue. The worst part about him is mana bar and his tentacles, although they are mostly dying from the all effects that are flying through the air. Not to mention that Kasim has his crushing blow on the ready and is ready to use it whenever needed. Bale dropped a unique War Axe, Rake Scar, and unique Defender, Viscerat Wand. I am finishing Nightmare with pretty standard level 55, maxed out Phoenix Strike and almost Claws of Thunder. Most of the stats are in Vitality and rest evenly distributed between Strength and Dexterity due to requirements of both claws. Mercenary is stacked. He has Rock Fist, kind of an insane rare polearm, and Guillaume's Face. I have Blood Fist, Pattern Duriel Shell and Natalya's Boots. Really doing good in terms of gear. Terror zones are simply the best way to level in this game. Although I think I could start beating hell now, I still have full set to test. So let's quickly earn those few levels and get access to the helmet. I quickly managed to get those 4 missing levels to wear my next piece, Natalya's Totem. I love this helmet. It's just such a great utility piece. It has massive defense, can roll enormous bonuses to both strength and dexterity, and up to 20 to all resistances, and even some magic damage reduction. 2 pieces give 15 flat magic damage reduction. The helmet together with boots are one of the greatest, most versatile pieces of equipment in terms of set items, and I am never mad to see them drop on any run, as 90% of the times they are just very useful. While grinding to 73 to wear the armor, I did not have that much luck in terms of the drops, but I still managed to find at least a couple of nice items, but really nothing spectacular. Now the armor is probably the least impressive piece from the set. It provides +2 to Shadow Discipline skills, massive life based on level, some poison resistance and poison length reduction, but its biggest strength are the sockets, up to 3 to be exact. I have the version with the 2 and for sure I will be making use of that. Those sockets make the armor yet again quite useful for other classes, but its problem lies in the level and strength requirement. 149 is a steep price and I had to rearrange some charms and equipment so I can use it. 3 pieces set bonus gives just 200 flat defense. I did couple more runs to maximize the easy experience I can get for the one last piece, and doing so I found an amazing core rune, and later on the Burial Grounds Blood Raven dropped a unique wing helm which is Valkyrie's Wing. I hit level 76 and wasn't getting much more from the terror zones anymore, so decided to switch to Hell. I am still short 3 levels to be able to wear the final part of the set, that is a weapon. This really gives me a déjà vu from the time I was playing Naja's Ancient Vestiges Druid. One more thing before I start, I need to fix my fire resistance as it is in negative. I almost maxed out Fate, so it gives me a massive boost, but that one is lacking, so I put 2 Ral runes into my armor and now it's perfect. Now I want to go to the pit to hit that missing levels, but before that mandatory sweep of Den of Evil, followed by teaching Yetis to respect me and freeing Kane from demon-infested ruin called Tristram. I decided to drop by the Countess as well. Just before her I found this killer skiller with +1 to Shadow Disciplines and 35 life. Damn son! Now it wasn't much of a point to grind those 2 remaining levels in this act. So we went to Andariel and man, those zombies around her are scarier than the boss herself. I had to kite her around the pool, unleashing my kicks whenever I had enough charges, until she dropped dead. Man, getting teleportation on Radamant is the worst. Finally, that took a long time, but at long last level 79, brings the last part of the set that is a weapon, Natalya's Mark. And it is not bad at all. Massive increase to attack speed, damage, extra racism to demons and undead, some fire and cold damage, but ignore target's defense is amazing and is very useful for hitting those charges. Set does not give any green bonuses on any of the pieces, but full completion gives +3 to assassin skills, 14% life and mana leech, 350 defense, 50 to all resistances, magic damage reduced by 15, and staggering 30% physical damage reduction, basically a shaft stop effect. This is both amazing offensively, but even more impressive in terms of defensive capabilities. Together with Fate, I have more than 50% physical damage reduction at any moment. I think that might be quite good, guys. Also, you are not getting that aura effect as with most of the endgame sets, but rather Assassin becomes translucent, similar to Fate effect. There is one thing I did not use and I am always at least trying not to use in these runs. That is teleport stuff. I don't like teleport really, I think it is a bit overpowered. I will use it whenever it is necessary or when I know I cannot fairly beat the place I am in. But also Assassin has an access to skill that is called Dragonflight, that can be a pseudo teleport, but given that I am doing 4 kinds of different damage at any given point, and on top of that my mercenary is absolutely stacked, I never had a situation that I thought I need to run from or avoid. Especially now I feel absolutely unkillable and can kill anything that stands in my way. Thanks to the enormous amounts of crushing blow on Kasim, Dureal fight was for once all about keeping his attention on me, as I barely take damage, thus letting my merc do all the work here, while I snag kicks here and there. Unfortunately, Big Bug does not drop anything of value. Beginning of Act 3 of the Hell difficulty, I did a little crafting session. First, blood gloves, and I got at least 3 good pairs, of which one I ended up using, with 3% life leech, 9% crushing blow, strength, life, half freeze duration, and 25% magic find. But in process of gambling, I also found these rare gloves with double resistances and +1 to martial arts. I also tried my luck with caster amulets, as I am in dire need of one, but I did not get anything useful. Maybe I can at least find a magic amulet with +3 to martial arts, that would be great. This set really lacks only one thing, and that is cannot be frozen. It can be tricky to sometimes kick stuff while I am slowed, but even when that happens and I am vulnerable in those moments, there is really no fear of dying. This situation might have been the closest I have been to death as possible. As I already told this multiple times, I hate this act. It is dull as hell. Go to one place, take one thing, go to another to take the brain, then go to yet another one to collect the heart, and finally deal with the baddies that were once good boys but are now too lazy to do anything about their corruption and go down to fight the big bad. Of course, I am talking about Durance of Hate, true boss of this whole godforsaken act. The amount of shitty monsters and tight spaces is just astounding. My god, I know why Mephisto is Lord of Hatred. Because I hate this fucking place. My merc isn't really very tanky. Sure, he can dish out great damage against bosses, but that ghastly bastard must have known that and killed him quickly. That does not matter, as I have crushing blow of my own thanks to blood gloves. So the only thing is to survive really. And one thing is that ignore target defense does not work against bosses sadly, so Blessed Aim is still very much useful in those encounters, as Phoenix Strike itself in this setup is not really a boss killer. At this point I am really just joyfully jogging onward, thwarting any attempt at my life, but man did I found a treasure here. A superior ethereal treasure with 5 open sockets. I guess someone is getting his Christmas present early this year. I am of course talking about Obedience. Hell Cthul F Fal. I have every part, so now this beautiful Reaper can become this monstrosity of steel and destruction. Jesus, that is a beastly weapon. I know I am testing endgame set here, but that setup is equally impressive, although I'm really thinking of doing bulwark for him just so he could be a bit tankier in fights. Usual got wiped. I mean, I could just smear his corpse across the ground and drag his insides. With Hephasto wasn't that easy, as dude was physical immune, but that is where I come in and demonstrate my prowess. With him dead, I got another great drop in form of an East rune from the Forge. I must say that seals were much harder than I thought, mostly because of the damage the unique monsters were doing. With modifiers like extra strong and cursed, they are a menace to deal with. That said, once it was done, it was time for Diablo. And to no surprises here really, there are no distractions here, no helpers to relieve the devil from his fate. Just look at him, it is pathetic. Although I am not an expert on either assassin, this playstyle or this set, I have some thoughts after playing through the entire game with it. Starting this run, I was thinking to myself why this particular set is not really used that much. Because as you can see, even with mediocre setup, it still works amazing. Especially that with Fade I feel almost unkillable. You're also getting some open sockets in the armor itself, and free offhand to use whenever you like. Also poison is never a problem, hitting normal monsters too, thanks to ignore target's defense. So why it is not used more? I believe it is due to the fact how little it actually does for clear speed. Aside from +3 to assassin skills and +2 to shadow disciplines, this set does not offer much in terms of offensive capabilities. It also occupies 3 rune ward slots and does not provide cannot be frozen that it desperately needs, and that would fit the theme really nicely of being this elusive, unkillable ninja. I tried getting more items with +2 martial arts or assassin skills in general, but I only got so much. That said, can you clear the game with it? Absolutely. It is also extremely safe and fun to play, but to me its strength lies in the helmet and boots combination. Those are such a great and versatile pieces for any class, really. They are also both exceptional bases, making them very cheap and easy to get. I finished this run at level 81, basically due to requirements of the weapon, maxed out Phoenix Strike, Claws of Thunder and almost Fade and Blades of Ice. So my damage can further be increased, but I never had any issues during my playthrough. Gear-wise, my merc has Duriel Shell, Obedience and Guillaume's Face, making him a killing machine. As for me, I really have very random pieces, some just for strength and dexterity or even attack rating, some crushing blow from gloves and skills from the amulet. Even got that pattern, which could be easily replaced with magic claws with +2 Phoenix Strike, or just really skills of choice. This was great fun for me, both in terms of playstyle and set itself. Highly recommended. Thank you very much for watching. Stay tuned for more games and gaming videos. Like it if you like it and subscribe for more. Challenger departs.